Hi students. When we take the pledge of India, we say, and I'm proud of its rich and varied heritage. Two words. Varied, rich. Varied, definitely. From Kashmir to Kanyakumari, from Kutch in Gujarat to Arunachal Pradesh, India is diverse. Different languages, different festivals, religions, cultures, cuisines, so much of variety, so much of diversity. The other word used is rich. Yes, definitely, India has a very rich heritage. We gave the world the zero, Ayurveda, yoga, meditation, and much, much more. It is but natural that so many foreign countries came to India to rule over India, to settle down in India, to establish their empires in India. Definitely, we should be proud of India. So in this section, my dear children, we are going to learn about a few parts of India. So in Glimpses of India, we are traveling to Goa. We talk to the Poder, taste the pav, move down south, the land of coffee and spices, then directly eastwards to Assam to taste the most popular beverage, tea or chai. So let's go. Our elders are often heard reminiscing nostalgically about those good old Portuguese days. The Portuguese and their famous loaves of bread. Those eaters of loaves might have vanished, but the makers are still there. We still have amongst us the mixers, the molders, and those who bake the loaves. Those age-old, time-tested furnaces still exist. My God, could you just hear the baker? Could you hear the poder in the background? So our elders still think very fondly about those good old Portuguese days. And they talk about the famous loaves of bread. These elders might have died. They no longer exist. But the makers are still there. Those who bake the cakes are still amongst us. The mixers, the molders, all are still existing. These age-old time-tested furnaces where you bake the cake still exist. The thud and jingle of the baker's bamboo heralding his arrival in the morning can still be heard in some places. Maybe the father is not alive, but the son still carries on the family profession. So the father might have died, but the son does carry on the family profession. These bakers are even today known as poder in Goa. And now you will find that the thud and jingle has been replaced by the honking, the horn sounds early in the morning. During our childhood in Goa, the baker used to be our friend, companion, and guide. He used to come at least twice a day. Once when he set out in the morning on his selling round, and then again when he returned after emptying his huge basket. The author here is talking about his own childhood, and hence he says our. So this entire lesson is in the first person. He talks about his childhood and the reference of the baker along with it. So he says that he used to come at least twice a day to deliver bread. Once when he set out in the morning on his selling round, and then again when he returned after emptying his huge basket. The jingling thud of his bamboo woke us up from sleep, and we ran to meet and greet him. Why was it so? Was it for the love of the loaf? Not at all. The loaves were brought by some Pasquin or Bastine, the maid servant of the house. that is the name of the maidservant, Baskin or Bastine. What we longed for were those bread bangles, which we chose carefully. The baker made his musical entry on the scene with the zhang zhang sound of his specially made bamboo staff. Staff is a stick. One hand supported the basket on his head and the other banged the bamboo on the ground. He would greet the lady of the house with "Good morning" and then place his basket on the vertical bamboo. We kids would be pushed aside with a mild rebuke, and the loaves would be delivered to the servant. But we would not give up. We would climb a bench or a parapet and peep into the basket somehow. I can still recall the typical fragrance of those loaves. Loaves for the elders and the bangles for the children. Then we did not even care to brush our teeth or wash our mouths properly. And why should we? Who would take the trouble of plucking the mango leaf for the toothbrush? And why was it necessary at all? The tiger never brushed his teeth. Hot tea could wash and clean up everything so nicely after all. So the author is giving excuses for not brushing teeth. He doesn't want to take the trouble to pluck the mango leaf as a toothbrush, and he feels that even if the tiger doesn't brush his teeth, the tiger has sharp, strong teeth. Marriage gifts are meaningless without the sweet bread known as the bowl, just as a party or a feast loses its charm without bread. So the author says that the sweet bread bowl was very important as a marriage gift, and no party or feast would be complete without bread. Not enough can be said to show how important a baker can be for a village. So the baker was a very important person in any village. The lady of the house must prepare sandwiches on the occasion of her daughter's engagement. Cakes and bolinas are a must for Christmas as well as other festivals. Thus, the presence of the baker's furnace in the village is absolutely essential. The baker or bread seller of those days had a peculiar dress known as the kabai. It was a single-piece, long frock reaching down to the knees. In our childhood, we saw bakers wearing a shirt and trousers which were shorter than full-length ones and longer than half pants. Even today, anyone who wears a half pant which reaches just below the knees invites the comment that he is dressed like a poder. The baker usually collected his bills at the end of the month. Monthly accounts used to be recorded on some wall in pencil. Such was the trust between the baker and the buyer. Baking was indeed a profitable profession in the old days. The baker and his family never starved. He, his family, and his servants always looked happy and prosperous. Their plump physique was an open testimony to this. Even today, any person with a jackfruit-like physical appearance is easily compared to a baker. So the profession was very prosperous. They never starved. The baker and his family never starved. They always looked happy. And the plump physique is evidence to this.